tag team tournament for the number one contendership. Enzo and Cass against the Vaudevillains. They've had 2 promos, one on SmackDown, one on Raw. Obviously, they couldn't build this match for a long time because you didn't know who was going to be in it. But I think this is the perfect matchup for this. You have the contrast of Enzo and Cass, the brash, kind of new era trash talkers, and the Vaudevillains representing a foregone era, a bygone era, I believe is how they always put it. I believe Aiden English said they were going to party like it's 1899 when they win.
I love that was awesome. I love when he sang WWE Tag Team Champions.
That was awesome.
And Xavier's face was, oh my God. Because I don't know if you caught this on the Austin podcast.
Cass sing-off with Cass?
Him and Cass had a sing-off.
Oh, it was awesome. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
They had a singing competition against each other.
Oh, really? And Cass won.
Against Aiden. And it was, look it up the first chance you get. It is hysterical. Because Aiden at the time, I forget what his character was called, but he was supposed to be like a thespian and an artist. He came out wearing like a little hat, and it was, and some of that character came out last night. But I think it's, one, anytime you get to put Enzo and Cass on TV is always money.
Good thing.
The Vaudevillains, they hadn't gotten to really be characters in a while.
Not on Raw.
On NXT. They hadn't been at all on the main roster. So you get to kind of see what they're all about. And I love that just clash of 2 totally different teams.
The contrast, and it kind of helps you build for the match a little more. It gives you a little more anticipation.
Yeah, like I can't wait for it. And maybe the biggest thing about it is the New Day was so happy in that ring last night when that was going on. Like you said, Xavier's reaction... It was the happiest I've seen Big E because Big E always does it. Because that was the most emotion. Because I feel like they probably have been handcuffed a little bit. Like you said, they turned babyface. They don't get to do some of the things they did before. I feel like they were so excited to be doing something new and different and fresh that it's not just League of Booty. And the Usos and the Dudleys. Like this is something brand new for them, and they couldn't be more excited to be involved in this story in any way. They're obviously not going to have any involvement in the match. Do you think they'll be on commentary?
They'll be on commentary. They'll be there watching.
I think it makes sense for them to do that, even if it's just Xavier.
Yeah. Then you'll see the winner at the end. You know, they'll have a little stare down kind of moment.
Yeah. I think that they is arguably one of the best jobs they've done at handling an NXT talent with the 2 teams, that they both have kind of been pushed. Even the loser of this match, they've gotten prominent time on Raw and SmackDown. And I don't think they'll be worse off for having not won the number one contendership. Especially because, spoiler alert, I'll make my prediction early. I think New Day is going to retain. So I don't think it's like whoever wins this tournament is going to be the next champion.
Well, and that was a listener question from Professor Charles Xavier Johnson.
Okay, what was the question?
He wants to know who do you think wins the tournament and who wins the tag team titles eventually.
I hate to say this, but I think the Vaudevillains are going to win the number one contendership. I think the endless chase for Enzo and Cass starts on Sunday. It continues in NXT, but it starts on the main roster on Sunday. Them constantly trying and trying and trying. So I think the Vaudevillains are going to go over on Sunday at Payback. How about you?
I'm gonna say Enzo and Cass. I think it would make for a better match. That being said, I'm a little disappointed with NXT. Enzo and Cass lose a clean match to American Alphas when they're supposed to be contending for the
NXT
WWE titles.
Champion, and that's their NXT goodbye, and you know that means you lose.
I understand, but it's such a clean win. It was.
Well, they're NXT Tag Team Champions.
If they were in a tag team tournament, I could say it, but they're in a tag team tournament supposed to be contending for the WWE titles. I didn't like it.
But the casual fan doesn't know that.
Well, I'm not a casual fan. I know indie wrestlers, okay?
So you think Enzo and Cass, what do you think?
And I think ultimately New Day retains it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think Enzo and Cass win because if this match would happened on Raw, I think the Dudleys would have interfered and the Vaudevillains would have faced New Day at Payback. But since there were no mention of the Dudleys and they built up, they actually had a standoff between the 2 teams and the New Day. And then on top of that, with the number one contendership being at Payback, there's going to be a build to the match that will more than likely be at Extreme Rules. That will more than likely be at Extreme Rules. So I think Enzo and Cass do win. But hopefully the chase ends at Extreme Rules. I hope so, but they're so over. They're the most over.
Matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're so over.
They're the most over act on the roster.
They'll eventually be tag team champions. I just don't think they'll be this quick.
One day they will be tag champions, but
One day.
I hope that the chase ends.
Then
Couple haters.
the thing
Couple
is,
haters.
there you go. They'll win the tag team champions down the road, and you'll see that emotion
Well,
you always wanted to see for a title. That crawling like
Yeah.
that. Moment.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100 like a hot fever, but I think Enzo and Cass will win the titles when they get their titles.
Hopefully, they don't win the titles on a house show though.
So you see them winning number one contendership and then winning the titles at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, because there's nobody else that can beat the new that makes sense to beat the New Day.
That's true.
Because you look at it,
I don't think they do it yet.
Yeah,
I think they know they don't have to.
Yeah,
they don't have to.
They
but
really don't have to.
But then again, if they do this whole, we'll give it to them at SummerSlam thing, that's a year title reign for the New Day.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
You also have a new tag team coming in here that could
And
come in and take the titles.
And then it's
Yeah, that's true.
And then,
too.
and then another thing is you remember we were at Takeover Brooklyn.
Yes, we were.
The pop fans on Cass was huge, and that's what SummerSlam is. So
Yeah.
Enzo and Cass, they'll be in a tag team title match no matter what at SummerSlam.
I want to see them win just because I like them and I'd like to see them as champs. But like you said, they're so over. They don't need a title. It doesn't even matter. They could just go out there and do what they do, and people will love them regardless.
I would like to see the exchange between New Day and Enzo and Cass until they get that title match.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what that build up between Payback and the tag title match could be from.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see.
So we have
That's good
two.
TV.
We have two for Enzo and Cass. One for the Vaudevillains.
And you can't teach that.
That's true. You can't. I guess I'm the only hater. We don't got a couple haters with just me.